Taking it back to about branding yourself like in your city, I'm all for thinking, the bigger picture, thinking outside the box. However, folks in your city need to know who you are. If somebody comes to DC and they're telling me, yo, I run Memphis and I do this and I do that, I'm gonna call my Memphis Connect, who I know is connected in that area. I'm gonna say, hey, have you heard of, Tommy Boy? And she's like, oh, well, he's not doing this and he does this and yada, yada, yada. There's my answer. I'm not saying I'm just going to stop at that one person, but I'm going to do my personal research. So you folks in your city need to know who you are, because if you're networking with the correct people, they will do their own research and reach back to your city and ask, have you heard of such and such? If it's a promoter, do they really do those type of shows? Are they really pulling that type of crowd?
And the artists don't need a publicist yet. I feel like there's a certain point when you do need a publicist, but to me, having someone, like, even if I like the publicist, if they email me and I've never heard of you and I don't know anything about you and they're just saying, do you want to feature this artist, that by itself is not going to make me want to feature that artist. I feel like when you hire a publicist, if you're paying them every month, like, you need to be giving them something to work with, whether it's, like she said, okay, you got a picture with somebody notable on the red carpet, or maybe you're doing some kind of community outreach and you have video clips, or you have to have some kind of angle. Like, I've had publicists email me that say, and the publicist can make a big difference. Like, some publicists approach you with the attitude like, you have to feature this artist, like you're obligated to do this.
Who's fighting to make that artist look like a star, at all costs. If you have to, I don't care if your job is a manager, you have to go pick up the towels, or you know what I'm saying, you gotta pick up the money, pass out flyers, whatever you have to do to make sure that your brand and your product can look the way that they're supposed to look. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what your job is and who's around, everybody around you, because if you don't stand, then the whole thing falls. So everybody has to be able to pick up each other's weight and make sure that the artist looks the way the artist is supposed to look.
I personally believe you should have more focus. Like, a lot of people say I'm an artist, I'm a photographer, I'm a model, I sing, I dance, I rap, I'm a plumber on the side. Like, who are you? If you're gonna be the artist, be the artist. Make that your focus. So you don't want to spread yourself too thin. Find your best. Whatever your best is, do that best, and not try to be everything. Because once again, you lose your brand like that. So I don't know who you are. Like I said, find your goal and your focus and be that. It might not be the artist, it might be something else, or it might be the artist and not everything else too. I know people try to find different avenues to get into the industry, but you end up losing yourself. So I don't even know who you are at the end of the day. So if you're going to be the artist and just travel that path to being the best artist you can be, and not taking everybody else's path, just trying to get to the top.
That's one of the mistakes I see a lot of new artists make, and I've even made it myself, because the promoting on the internet is relatively free, right? So those of us that don't have a boatload of money can sit at home and reach a lot of people at once. But just reaching people on the internet is not enough. You need to be able to get out there and grind on the streets. You need to meet people one-on-one. The music industry today is so much like politics, where you've got to shake hands and kiss babies. You've really got to build relationships one-on-one with your fans. And once you do that, they will remember you forever. And if they really like you, they will support you forever. Even if you have one album that's not quite as good as maybe your last one or your next one, if you have those rabid fans that really are ride or die with you, they will buy everything that you do.
You're not an artist first. You're a brand. And I want to touch on some of the things that you said. You mentioned that, and segue into the rest of the group. You mentioned that you have a camera. You never know where your success. You never know who's watching, who's viewing, who's listening. So you have to take a well-rounded approach to your music. You may be an artist, meaning that you record songs and you put them out, but it may be your videos. Let's take Shorty Low, for example, from D4L. Some people may say that it was his songs that got him the deal with Julia. But my theory is that his ability to generate over 2 million views during his beef with T.I. kept him relevant during album cycle. You never know where it's going to come from. It may be your photography when you're at events, snapping pictures next to different artists, or taking your voice recorder and doing different interviews. You got to turn your art into TV, your art.models, your art.video, and build that overall platform so that companies can sponsor you, and so that you can continue to do the art that you love to do.
I'm in the same situation that you talking about right now. Like, I started off with the local thing, but the main way for the local people to take you serious is to leave and get from being local. You know what I'm saying? So, I spent a year out in Atlanta, Miami. People see me tweeting, people see me in those positions to meet other big people. I mean, you can't meet nobody in your neighborhood. Feel me? Like, being the king of your neighborhood, you do that when you're 12, 13. Like, that ain't gonna get you nowhere. So basically, like, if you serious about your craft and you want to put your city on, you can't put your city on in your city. So that's why you gotta take it to one county. You take it from the next county. You hit all the small spots. So like at the end of the day, all the small spots come together and they make it easy for the attack the big cities. So, hey.
I think Ronnie's right. I think VA kind of is bitter right now because we have a lot of people that explode but they don't come back. I'm a Georgia girl, and as you know, Georgia supports Georgia, keep supporting Georgia. So I kind of represent VA by the way of GA, but it's a struggle trying to help you guys when y'all don't like each other. That's the hardest part. You know, that's my struggle. So if you want to represent your brand, first thing you want to do is find out who you are. You can't tell me your story if you don't know it. Second of all, what does your brand look like? You know what I mean? And third, you know, just because it's your brand doesn't mean that other people can't help support the brand. Like, a lot of people don't like to collab around here. I think that VA is the best kept secret. That's why I'm still here. I could have gone home to Atlanta a long time ago. But it's the best kept secret. But if nobody's willing to pass it on, how do you expect to explode?